Alright guys, it's are we still morning? We are just still morning, yeah. I am just leaving my parents' house. I'm just taking the back roads home actually, because there's roadworks in Driffield and hang on, it's going into the sports centre. Yeah, there's roadworks in Driffield and that's putting a bit of pressure on, and I'm assuming that what do you call it? I'm assuming the bypass will be a little, you know, got a bit more pressure on it as well, even though technically the bypass is the quickest route home. Longest, but quickest, supposedly. But the traffic on there can be quite bad sometimes. You might feel of that. Clutch went a bit fierce there, that was strange. Don't want my clutch going. So, yeah, I'm just taking the back roads home. Yeah, there's a seagull picking at the carrion. So yeah, I looked after my dad last night. Basically, what happened was I think my mum was struggling to get some respite for. Basically, it was basically just for yesterday. She'll be back later today, and all it was, it's her sister's 60th. My auntie. So obviously they've had a family get together and what have you. So yeah, my man went across to Liverpool for that, and cyclists 2 abreast on these little back roads. Come on guys, that's it. I won't be coming past on the bend anyway. Cyclists wearing Google Glass. So yeah, I looked after my dad basically last night. My brother went yesterday and I went and took over at about 7 o'clock. He went, you know, between carers sort of thing, because obviously there are carers going in. There was a carer that came in this morning, but she was only there for a couple of hours with it being Sunday morning. So I just leave them, let them get on with whatever duties they are assigned to, basically, and let them do whatever they normally do. So yeah, basically I've just been there for through the night more than anything else. So yeah, his mind's wandering a lot now. Still remembers who we are, but you know, there are voices other than those in the room talking to him as well. So he's got quite a lot going on in his head. But anyway, that's right. So there's all this roadworks going on in the town. But I just remembered that it's closing that road off as well, even though this is the way I was coming anyway. But yeah, that's the bit of closed road that I need to avoid during the day at the minute in the town, because I'll be going into the town later to pick a few bits and pieces up, to be honest. A lot of cyclists around at the moment. I don't know if you guys are getting that wherever you're based. It's sort of, I mean, I used to be more of a mountain biker myself, but I think it was like, you know, when we had the Tour de France come through West Yorkshire and that, was it last year or the year before? can't remember. And then of course this year we had Tour de Yorkshire, and it's since all that sort of went on, we've had a lot of big increase in road cycling. Massive increase in it. It's I mean it's even given rise to a new cycle shop in the town selling your more sort of high-end road racing bikes. So it's given rise to that as well, which is a good thing. It's nice to see stuff like that being able to come into the town. What annoys me, I suppose, more than anything else about it is that he's had to take up like a small shop, further out on the high street, as it were, and because he can't afford the rents of the higher priced ones near the town centre. And there was a prime position shop after Blockbuster's closed. I mean, it is on a prime position. It's more or less the centre of town, with a big curved glass window and everything. And because of the rent being so high, that has ended up going to, well, it's not the rents, it's the rates actually, but that has ended up with a charity shop. Yet another charity shop in the town. I think we've got about 6 or 7 bloody charity shops in Driffield now. We don't need them. We just don't need all of those. I'm not against charity shops, don't get me wrong, but the fact that they get their rent free, I think, or something, don't they? They definitely get it reduced anyway. There's certainly very much fewer bills go out, and they're taking up prime positions. They shouldn't be getting the prime positions in the town. That's. But of course, because it's just a sign of the times, isn't it? Because all like your rates and everything are so expensive, businesses can't afford main sort of shopping area shops, I suppose. I don't know, it's just wrong. I just find it, the whole system stinks, basically. You can't set up a shop and make a good living out of it in certain areas. So anyway, rant over. Yesterday, what did I do yesterday? Oh, it was a salad yesterday for tea, which made a change. It's actually the only salad I've had this summer, which is unusual, because most summers we go through and have 2 or 3 salads, like 2 or 3 salads maybe a week at some points. But yeah, we always had at least 1 salad a week, like last year and the year before. But I think that's my first one this year. So, and it was nice actually. It made a nice, refreshing change. So, but today it's a pork dinner. Bought the pork yesterday off the travelling butcher. I don't mind paying a bit more for my meat because it tastes better that way. It's all locally sourced. I've just got to go and pick up a few veg. I was going to call into town on the way home, but wasn't 100% sure what veg we required, so I'm just going home first and see the wife, because I haven't seen her yet today, and she had to have one of her carers in overnight for her, so anyway, I'm going to go home, see the missus, see what veg we need, and then I'll pop into town and get some veg. And I'm back home in my village now, about to cross the railway lines. Right, so anyway, I'll catch up later with you guys, okay? Back by popular demand. Was it any of you lot? It does my head in that advert. Go compare advert, it's just on the TV now. Does my bloody head in. It always has. So, weather's turned out really nice actually. I've noticed some of the normal sort of, like your, I think the meadow browns look like a small, red red admiral butterfly. We're starting to get them in now, so won't be long before the peacocks are back as well. Got quite a few bees buzzing around that plant at the minute. And Daisy's sunning herself. Hang on. Oh, you enjoying the sun, are you? Are you enjoying the sun? Hey, see Fred's out there as well. You're a good girl, aren't you? She's been a bit sick this afternoon, actually. Don't know why. They're all going to be getting their hair lopped fully off all along. They've had a quick clip around the faces and paws, but the clipper's packed up, so when I clipped Fred's longest claws last night and made him bleed on them, which I was a little upset about. I don't like hurting him. You'll do it. Neighbours' dogs. That's why Fred's out there, who's waiting for the kick-off to begin so we can join in. So yeah, I'm pretty tired actually, guys, to be honest. I think last night did me in a bit. Because I sort of, my dad had me up at about, well, he sort of kept me semi awake all night, I'd wake up and hear him doing things on his side or something, but he wasn't talking at that point. Then he shouted at me at about 5:30, I think, something like that. And I remember dozing over again till about 8:30 and got woken up by his carer turning up, so I think I've already said this, I don't remember. I'm just so worn out. So I've got tea on at the minute, the pork's in. I've just turned my veg on a few minutes ago actually. So I should have some pork and crackling out soon, and then I've got some of my pre-cooked Yorkshires in the freezer. So yeah, so I've got some videos to do, but I'm not going to be doing them today. I've got 3 that need doing right now. A couple more products on the way. I'm still going to need to fit in some time when I can. Somebody once asked for like my long-term opinion of the Thunderbolt display. Really. Sorry about that, guys. Had a bit of muck on there, just next to the lens. So yeah, I'll do that. Give my long-term opinion of the Thunderbolt display. I've had it. How have I had it now? I've probably had it about. It's long-term, sort of subjective, isn't it? But I've had it about 5 months now, 4 or 5. Maybe even 6 months. I'm not sure. I'd have to check into that. What else? And then I suppose I'll do like a desk tour at some point. I think I've been asked about what's on my iPad, and I've got that workflow app to do, which I've just been annoyed slightly actually. I don't use it that often, right? I've got the original copy of Reflector, and I bought it, paid for it. Got the old style license key for it, and it all worked great. And I just for some reason I went to use it the other day, and they've changed how it works. I didn't realise this, because everybody was going on about Reflector 2. And what they've done is, they've made Reflector work now, whereby it's actually for projecting your iOS screen onto a projector screen via a Mac. So you have to have the Mac as well, which has to be plugged into the projector. So it's more like for education situations and boardroom stuff like that. But I was a little peeved about that, because people bought that and now can't do what they did. Whenever I connect my phone to it now, either the screen goes black on the Mac, or it all blows out and you get it totally changes all the resolution and that, you see. So a bit of boil over there. So yeah, I was a little peeved about that, because now the only way to show my iOS screen like that is to download Reflector 2, which costs $14.99 or something like that. So what's that? It's about tenner, something like that anyway. So, you know, really to do that I need to buy a copy of Reflector 2, which is a little annoying, you know, when people have already paid out for that app that did what it did, and now they've changed what it does. So, you know, understandably, I know I'm probably not the only one that's annoyed about it. So, yeah. So anyway, the port won't be long now, actually. Hopefully it's crackling up nicely in there. I've just got some parsnips to put in a bit as well. Just clean them off and put them in, cut them up and put them in, oil them up. Anyway, so I'm going to get off anyway, guys, and I'll come back and sort of like talk again in a bit. I'm such a tease. Oh dear. Yeah, so that's my day about done anyway. I'm shattered today. Gonna cut this one fairly short, actually, guys. I've been watching some of my subs because I didn't watch any yesterday, so I've got more of them to catch up yet. I've just watched, I think, as far as Jane Jones's app review so far. I might have watched a couple of others after that, I can't remember. But yeah, that reminds me actually, has Mr. Cooper put his vlog up yet? Don't think I've seen it in the list. I shall be expecting that, Mr. Cooper, do you hear? So there's something funny going on over there. Oh dear, laughing, it's infectious, isn't it? So yeah, I'm absolutely shattered, so I'm going to cut things short, I'm afraid, guys, and I'm going to have to try and get an early night, I think. Well, early into bed at least anyway, not necessarily early asleep, depends on how things go. So you know, there was something I wanted to talk about and I cannot remember what it was. Oh, I left a comment on one of Moz's videos about it was about, what was it? It was, that was it. He was doing his first play on Angry Birds 2, which, by the way, is actually pretty sound, actually. Takes a little while to load, can be a bit slow on that front, and the in-app purchases obviously are annoying, but yeah, it's pretty good play, actually. It's good for killing a bit of time. But, oh, what was it? Yeah, what had happened was, I went to download it, and even though it's free, the App Store wouldn't allow me to download it. And it said there's been a problem with a previous purchase on the App Store or something. So I went and checked. Now, it's strange this, because I got a call that I assumed was just a dodgy call at work the other day from someone claiming to be the fraud department for HSBC, who is my bank. And of course there's lots of that stuff goes around. They're scamming gits, aren't they? So basically I ignored it. Actually, no, it wasn't a call, it was a message, but I never heard the phone ring. But it was like this message that had been left on my answer phone, and I remembered that afterwards, and so I thought, well, this is strange. So it refused it. So and when I went into, obviously you log in, it says go in and sort such and such out. Alter your, choose an alternative payment method or whatever. So I went in and tried to set it all up again, and it was just refusing the card every time. So I've never had this problem. I mean, I haven't even run my bank in about 4 years, so I had to reset up the telephone banking system as well, which was a pain in the backside. Because obviously if you can't verify things, then that's it, they have to hang up and you then have to go to your bank and sort everything out again, which I can't be doing. So basically I've got some gunshot going off somewhere. So yeah, I rang my bank, and it was like getting late on, and they weren't far off going. But basically, I got passed through about 4 different departments because they said fraud wanted to speak to me and such and such and such and such. And it turns out basically what it was, they decided there'd been too much activity on the card in a short space of time. Like what I'd done, I'd just added it to Apple Pay, which I haven't used yet. I haven't had the chance to use it. What else was there? There'd been a couple of Amazon purchases, and then obviously like App Store, and then there was probably like Tesco's, into town and got fuel, stuff like that. And this has never happened to me, and that was it. They clamped my card basically. So but yeah, it took about half an hour on the phone to sort it all out in the end. So anyway, it's all sort of sorted again now. So yeah, it was rather frustrating. I was extremely upset, shall we say. That's probably the best way to put it. So but yeah, that's about as fun as my week has been. So yeah, I think that's pretty much it, guys. That's about all that's really happened of any interest. That's if you can call that interesting. So hopefully it'll be a better week next week. Been busy at work. I've got a week off coming up actually. A couple of weeks away, something like that. I can't remember when exactly. So yeah, it's tea was okay, but my pork for some reason came out undercooked to start with. I put it out and something didn't look right, so I cut it in half, and there was a section that was still running with blood in the middle, so don't know when my oven's on the blink. That'll be handy. More cost. So yeah, I'll have to look into that. Although it's not that long since we had the fan replaced on the oven, so should be alright. That got done under warranty. So but yeah, I'm going to call it off there, guys. And I'm going to go and try and get an early night into bed at least. And then the wife will probably want to watch some stuff on TV or something, some of her recordings. Although some of it's pretty good. We've been watching the rerun of that Whitechapel, which is pretty good. That Donovan thing, Smith Donovan, that's been pretty good. What else? Banshee, that's good. So yeah, there's a few things that we sort of like, but we tend to record them and wait until the carers have gone so we can sit and watch them. So anyway, guys, take care of yourselves, and I will see you next vlog. Alright, cheers guys, see you.